This one's a little different. I know, I feel like I've been switching it up on you guys, and I'm sorry if the lighting is different than usual. I got the camera set up. I got the big spotlight shown here on my tablet. I love music, and I feel like I've shared that many times in this channel. I love to create art based on music or inspired by music. I love watching music reaction. I know this is primarily an art-based channel, and it's gonna stay that way. And that's why I got the camera here, because this camera will be focusing on the art that I'm doing down here, which you guys will see. Right here, I got an art piece. I did a quick sketch of something that came to my head. And what I wanna do in this video is I wanna kind of make this a little bit more detailed. I think it looks pretty good already. You know, it has like a very rough, cartoonish look, but I wanna clean this up. Even though I think it looks kind of cool, it adds a cool amount of character. And I apologize if you guys hear the AC, it turned on. But I want to clean this up. I want to make this more detailed. What we're going to do is we're going to do that cleanup while we listen to No Yokan by Deftones. Any Japanese people out there who want to correct me, go ahead. So I'm thinking about joining these. I'll try not to talk too much so you guys can enjoy the music. Good old Pinterest for references. Pretty good detail. I think it's pretty sick right here. I'm digging this one. Now, before I continue the album, this album right here was very different for me. I had been listening to Deftones for a long time when this album came out. I think I was already in 5 years. Might not seem long to many people, but at that time 5 years was, let's say what I started listening to them in 2009. So, no, sorry. This album came out in 2012. So I was listening to them for 4 years already. Started listening to them in 2008. And all the music that I heard before that was either heavy or just, it was unlike anything I've ever heard. I used to listen to a lot of metal, a lot of metalcore. So this kind of metal was interesting to me. It was different. So listening to White Pony, which is one of their albums, which was very unconventional at the time. It was very different for a metal album. And their album before that, being Diamond Eyes, their album before No Yokan, which was Diamond Eyes, was very heavy. So there was a lot of contrast there. So when this album came out and that first song played and it was so melodic, it even had like a solo in there, it blew my mind, because I can see that Deftones was no longer focusing on, yes, they were focusing on heavy riffs, but it wasn't the primary focus, right? It was, they wanted to be able to explore different soundscapes that I feel is now core to their sound. And if you listen to Deftones, you know what I mean. Diamond Eyes and No Yokan, I feel, are the albums that really put them on track to what their sound is now. But enough yapping, let's get back to the album. Kind of dig this house right here, like the way that looks. Look at that. One thing that you're going to notice in my art process is that I am very all over the place. I don't follow a set, how would I say, like, do this piece first, finish that, go on to the next one. I just go with whatever I'm feeling at the moment, and that's how I do it. So my process is all scattered, but it works for me. And by the way, I want to also add that my illustrations tend to take about a couple days. I'm a slow drawer, so in the process of this video, you might not see me finish this illustration. I'm hoping I can finish the whole sketch, but in case I don't, we'll finish it on another video. But yeah, I just want to put that disclaimer out there. Let's go back to the music. Let me put it back a couple of seconds so you guys don't miss anything. I only have 20 minutes on the clock. I've listened to this album about 100 times and I can never get tired of it. My process is janky too, so don't hate on me. Don't judge me. I'm still an amateur. Oh, this song's so good. I love it. Also, I'm using this as a form of practice. I really want to pick up my speed in illustration. You know, I want to be able to pump these art pieces way quicker than, you know, one every 5 days. So thank you guys for joining me, and I hope you're enjoying this video and just watching me go through this process. Hey, and you're welcome to draw along with me and listen to some Deftones. Got you, battery. Okay, puppy gun. Beast equipment. I always struggle with hair. This is probably the hardest part for me, so I'm practicing. You're gonna be hearing my pencil move because my mic is down here, just so you're aware. Fire. This piece of equipment is a beast. It's link in the description. Gonna work on that hair a little bit more. Start the camera again. That is off. And that's why we do this. Before I go to the next song, I don't want to ruin it. What is your guys' favorite? If you guys have listened to this album, what is your favorite track? Comment down below. And also, you guys just saw me flip this canvas horizontal and saw that my monkey looks janky as hell. So that's why we do that. We flip it to see how our eyes are looking at the image in one way, and then we flip it horizontal to see if we were looking at it, you know, how it should be. And looking at this image is nowhere near it. This guy's all kinds of jank, but we're gonna fix it right now. All right, back to the album.
From
fix that note. Looks like he's looking this way, so I think I'm gonna fix it to show him looking this way.
From the day you arrived, I stand by your side.
It's a little better. Times like these is when I need, sorry if the camera keeps moving, times like these is when I need some reference. So I'm gonna pull out some references. Let's see. Before we go to the next song, this song right here for some reason has the least amount of plays in this whole album, and I've seen reactions to this album and they got to put some respect on this song. Graphic Nature is fire, so that's all I gotta say, because everyone who I've seen react to this album, they give no love to Graphic Nature. I think it's up there. It's one of the better songs in the album. It's not the best. I used to think Entomb was the best, and as I grew up and started paying attention more to lyrics and how they relate to my life, my favorite song is well, you're just gonna have to wait and see till it gets there, and I'll let you guys know. Let me check battery. We solid. Okay. One of the perks of digital art. Hate on me. At least it's not AI. But there you go. Where's my head? Oh yeah. It's my little buddy right here. I apologize, I forgot to mention some of these songs have they curse. It's not often. I apologize. That was on me. I think that is the last song that curses. Again, I'm sorry. Back to the music. No prickles here. See, they have a lot of bags, so I'm thinking about adding that detail. You know, when I ink this up, I lose detail anyway, so we'll see how it translates. Think of the stories you put into your mind. Embrace all the glory. This video might be me just working on this chimp head. I hope you guys don't mind that. I'm gonna keep doing the same ear size, then just copy it. Who's heard this song? I know people who don't listen to Deftones, sorry, who've heard this song. We can leave that for now, and then we'll come back to it.
Wake for the glory. I know you can be.
I like these loop parts over here. Yeah, it's gonna be lit. Alright.
It's a mistake, but go ahead.
If you guys are still watching, whoever you are, comment down below. Give this video a like, you know, like I mentioned, comment. And if I've, you know, earned it from what you've seen so far, definitely subscribe, because if this does good, then, you know, we're probably gonna do a couple more. And if it doesn't do good, I'm still probably gonna do a couple more. But yeah, hope you're enjoying it, and I hope you're also drawing with me, and just, you know, use me as your little background noise. I don't care. I'm just happy you're here. Let's get back to the music.
Take a side, but watch how you choose. I'll be headed for a ride, 'cause I just don't know if I could. I can't stop once you begin.
A little bit at a crossroads here, trying to figure out what to do here.
You've opened the gates, now face the other side. Just go on, it's cool. Now head into the fire. I just don't know if I could. on your game. Stop wasting all your time. 'Cause surprise, it's you who fits what you decide.
Just a quick, how would I say? The reason I keep looking at my camera is because my camera can only record for 20 minutes at a time. And I want to make sure that I catch it before it runs out of time, so I'm able to continue the recording and I'm not drawing without catching any of the footage. So apologies if it looks a little jarring, but that's the reason why. Alright, I'm sorry. Back to the music. So one thing about me is that I tend to focus on small details very often, and it's probably why my workflow isn't as fast as it should be. I, for some reason, try to hyper focus on folds and trying to get them as right as possible, but I'm still not good at it. So just a little vulnerability. My God, I can't say that word. Vulnerability. I'm being vulnerable. Gosh, I can't even speak the words. You know, being bilingual, it really is being bad at 2 languages. So my Spanish is chopped, my English is chopped. Probably one of the best songs in this album. Just let it take you through its soundscapes. Listen to this and enjoy it. I won't even pause it. I'll stay quiet for the next 7 minutes. And there's my hyper focus. I found something I like. Alright, it's all good. We'll fix it. Sorry I spoke and sorry I paused. Alright, that's it.
as the engine stalls. Our eyes catch sail, explode.
I want to apologize. I know at the beginning I mentioned that I wasn't going to pause it. I wasn't going to talk. And I paused the song twice and I talked once. So I am so sorry about that. The second time was a complete accident. I touched my earbud and caused the song to pause. But again, I apologize. All right, back to it. We're on the home stretch, guys. And my illustration is not. So I think we're just gonna see how much we can do from this point forward, and whatever I don't finish, I will work on outside of this video. And when it comes down to the inking and I have a full sketch, we're gonna have to make another video, listen to the album, to another album. You guys comment down below what album you are interested in me listening to while we draw, and we'll check it out. I'm so down to listen to new music, but if I don't get no new recommendations, we're gonna be listening to some of my favorite music, which I'm always excited to share. But comment down below, let me know, and I hope you're enjoying this video if you're still here. So fun. Love this song. Are you guys fast drawers? If you are, let me know how long it takes you to create an illustration, because I need to pick up my speed. But, you know, we got something. So. No swear. So remember earlier I told you what is my favorite song in this album now, and it's the last song of this album. This one has resonated with me lately, and I hope you enjoy it. We're at home stretch, and thank you guys for joining me on this new experiment that I'm trying, and I had a lot of fun doing this. So hopefully we can do another one. Thank you again. I apologize for my chop voice. So that was No Yokan by Deftones, one of my all-time favorite albums. Thank you guys for joining me again. I know I've mentioned it a few times in this video, but if you enjoyed this new format that I'm trying out, subscribe, leave a comment, leave it a like. Like I mentioned earlier, my process is very slow, so I got almost nothing done. The progress that I did here was actually really good. For what, maybe, I think it's been only an hour or 45 minutes. This is pretty good progress. These take me a couple of days. Thank you guys again for joining me, and I hope you join me on the next one. I love you guys. Peace.